I think I remember the Essential Mix coming onto my radar as I was kind of finishing school. So I would have been about, 17, 18. And I particularly remember this Pete Tong Essential Selection CD. That was when I really got house music. Being asked to do the Essential Mix it's a really great honour. It's an amazing feeling. It's quite anxiety inducing as well because you want to get it right, but it's something that I feel like I've kind of been working towards, not in a conscious way, but collecting music and going raving for all these years. Subconsciously you kind of develop a depth of kind of interest and different styles and genres of music. So it's just a fantastic opportunity to be able to showcase them, really. 2 hours is obviously, it's a long time to listen to DJ mix, but it's very difficult to cram in all the things that have been essential to you as an artist growing up, developing your taste and your different kind of interests and your record collection. What I wanted to do with the mix is fill it with classic tracks that sound fresh and fresh tracks that sound classic. So basically you could play it and you go, is this old or is this new? Or the other way around, do you know what I mean? So what I've tried to do is flow from kind of dub techno and minimal to kind of more house. There's even some kind of almost quite disco-y elements there. But what I tried to do was not split them into age, but split them into genre. So you've got some tracks in there that are brand spanking new, unreleased, like the Lazar Hosh and Sam track on Perfect Push-Up, that's also mixed with Angel Freaking, but both have such a similar feel and sound, and then it kind of flows into more of a UK, what you might call tech house. Unfortunately, that seems to have become a bit of a dirty word now, but what I think of when I think of tech house is your late 90s, early 2000s swag records, Eddie Richards, Terry Francis kind of stuff. Actually, this is the whole part of the process for digging for music was getting really deep into Bandcamp. And there's Brick Rouge, which is David Juriez's label, have done a load of old remasters of wicked old stuff that they released in the mid late 90s, early 2000s. What I also tried to do is bear in mind that not everybody who listens to this mix is going to be a record nerd who's into digging for records from the late 90s, early 2000s. So try to keep it interesting by dropping in some vocals and some interesting sort of synth work and stuff like that. So it is peppered with stuff like that, but what I'm really happy with the way it turned out is that you've got these kind of different genres and it's filled with tracks that are from all different eras, but they've all got such a similar sound and you can't really define which was made when. I recorded the mix right here at home in London. It was quite a difficult time. It's a great time to start the year. It's fantastic. It's the third Essential Mix of the year. It's a great way to kick off 2020. However, I'd had an extremely busy Christmas and New Year. I had Circo Loco and Ibiza and I was there for 3 days and I got back and that gave me like 48 hours to do it. In the mix you can expect to hear everything from dub techno to minimal to funky house, but proper funky house, tech house, old proper tech house. What else have you got? You've got kind of like acid, you've got vocal, kind of weird trippy vocal, techie stuff, garage, edits, and it ends on an all-time favourite of mine, which is Francois K, Hypnodelic. The thing I tried to do with this mix was keep the energy building, but not necessarily with more intensity in terms of tracks. It was more about building pressure or building kind of anticipation, and then going into more kind of trippy territory. And there's a couple of tracks at the end that I've always wanted. I play out, and these days, unfortunately, rarer and rarer opportunities to play these kind of records, but these are the records that I've never actually put in mixes, but I've always wanted to, and I thought it's the sort of thing that I'd save them for an Essential Mix. There's one track in there called Sneaky Beats by Seafoam, which I just think is unbelievable. It's just this amazing bass line, wicked beats, and the synth work is just, I just get totally lost in that record. Usually with when I DJ, when I play out or put mixes together, I include quite a lot of my own music. But I saw this as an opportunity to not do that necessarily, and really dig and have a look through my collection, and also encourage me to go shopping and really investigate kind of like, because there's so many tracks that you love and you think, why have I not gone through their entire back catalogue or that artist's entire back catalogue? So this was an opportunity to do that, and it's been kind of like 2 or 3 months in the making of going to private collectors and scouring the internet, scouring Bandcamp. Irritatingly, there's one record that I really, really wanted to put in it, and it literally just turned up today. But there we go, you can't have everything, can you? I normally play a lot of my own music in my DJ sets and in my mixes and podcasts and stuff like that. But in this, one that I have put in is actually a new remix I've done for Peace Division's What Is This Sound, which is one of my favourite Peace Division records ever. And a real honour to be able to remix that. And that was one of the things I wanted to do with this mix, which was to kind of take classic sounds and give them a fresh twist. A lot of the music that I found for the mix was from basically scouring Discogs, for sure, and Bandcamp, which is just the most amazing resource for stuff that you think is no longer or isn't available digitally, but is. But the best part about this whole thing, I think, is going to visit, obviously, record shops, bricks and mortar, but private collectors, because that I just think is so fantastic. You've got somebody's privately curated collection that you can go to, and it's sitting there, and you walk in and say, you pull out a couple of records that you might know, and you go, I like this, I like that, and they go, okay, cool, try that. And before you know it, you've spent 6 hours sort of sat there just going one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I mean, the first time I did it, I went with like one little rucksack, and that was a big mistake. Now I go with like these like IKEA bags like this, and I come back and I probably buy about 60% that I'm never even going to play, but they're just so good you can't not get them. But yeah, I mean, certainly it's been an amazing experience sourcing music for this, because apart from buying lots of records and adding to your collection, it's just a great way to sort of build your knowledge, and also if you're sat there with a private collector who's probably, a lot of them have worked in distribution companies or record labels, run labels, and they know so much, like, oh, this record's sick, oh, funny thing about that record, it's recorded here, and da-da-da-da-da. So yeah, it's just a great way to kind of expand your mind, knowledge base, all that kind of thing. So the mix opens with instrumental or kind of down-tempo ambient version of Quicksand that I did, one of the tracks on my album. And then there's also this sample that I took from a film called The Beginners. There's 2 guys on the phone, it's a father and son, it's Christopher Plummer and Ewan McGregor. And this was a kind of a relatively art house film, and I saw it when it first came out must have been about 2012 or 13. And I just remember this scene so vividly. It's a guy calling up his son, and the guy's just come out. He's spent his entire life as a married man, and his wife passes away, and he realises that he's gay, and he goes to a house music club for the first time in his life.
Hello,
Oliver?
Yeah.
And he comes back and says, it was some wonderfully loud music.
Music in the club tonight. What kind of music's that?
And his son says, probably house music.
House music. Okay. House music.
And I just remember that so well. That's just always stuck in my mind, and I've always thought I've got to use that somehow, and this was the perfect opportunity. Having this whole process has made it a lot clearer perhaps what I need to do and what I want to do. Certainly we'll be looking to do another album, not this year, because I'm going to have a bit of time to myself, but also kind of just developing what I'm doing in the studio, doing stuff slightly differently. The winter's a really great time to kind of get your head down, knuckle down in the studio, so that's what I want to do really, just kind of get some music made. This whole process has made me figure out or begin to kind of look differently at what makes me tick with music, what elements of tracks that make me go completely bananas. I think I'm just going to get back in the studio and just make a ton of music basically before the summer starts and before things get crazy.